8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Danushka Madhavela and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. Bus fares will be revised from Wednesday. The minimum bus fare will be 17 rupees. The government plans to send more than 3,000 migrant workers for employment abroad. Court order preventing payment of Chinese fertilizer shipment dissolved. Health authorities warn that there is a huge risk of the Omicron variant spreading in the country. Turkey's inflation hits 36% amid financial turmoil. In foreign news, Sudan's Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. Bus fares will be revised from Wednesday. The new fares were published today by the Ministry of Transport. Accordingly, the new minimum bus fare will be 17 rupees. Many bus companies requested the government to increase the fares due to the increase of fuel prices and the price increase of spare parts. A meeting in this regard was held last Wednesday. Accordingly, the bus fare will be increased by 17%. State Minister Dilum Amnugama says that the government will focus attention to change school van fares as well. The Colombo Commercial High Court today settled the case against the Chinese fertilizer firm, which was accused of bringing down substandard stocks of organic fertilizer after both parties requested the courts to settle the issue. The Colombo Commercial High Court previously ordered the People's Bank to not pay the agreed amount of more than 6 million rupees to the Chinese firm due to the quality concerns. The Chinese firm agreed to supply organic fertilizer according to the Sri Lankan standards after the People's Bank agreed to pay the amount. If the fertilizer firm failed to supply the required standard of fertilizer, the court ordered the confiscation of the security deposit by the Chinese firm. Health authorities warn that there is a huge risk of the Omicron variant spreading in the country. More than 50 Omicron cases have been identified in the country at present. Consultant Dr. Nadika Janage of the Medical Research Institute says that it is possible that there are many unidentified Omicron cases in the country at present. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
We continue with local news. The Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry says that 365 new coronavirus patients were identified today. Accordingly, the total number of confirmed infections have increased to 588,300. 18 persons who recovered from COVID-19 were discharged from hospitals, raising the number of recoveries in the country to 561,128. Sri Lanka's coronavirus death toll is currently 15,037. Former parliamentarian and a journalist Niroshan Premaratne has been appointed as the chairman of the Independent Television Network. He received the appointment letter from the Media Minister Dalas Arhappeluma this evening. He began his career as a journalist at ITN and he served as a producer and a presenter as well. Up next is the main news story.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future. Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions, up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours, exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards, easy and 0% interest payment plans. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatmya.
The government plans to send more than 3,000 migrant workers for employment abroad. State Minister of Foreign Employment Promotion and Market Diversification, Priyankara Jayaratne, says that the Foreign Employment Bureau was able to register around 125,000 migrant workers last year. New plans have been made to register at least 850 migrant workers in a single day. The State Minister said that due to the coronavirus pandemic, the whole world faced a crisis situation and Sri Lanka also faced the same. But even amidst the hardships, the government was able to develop the foreign employment sector without letting it down. That was the main news story. Watchlight is next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalopa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight, Director General of the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Ajantha De Silva, says the opposition is fear-mongering the public, saying that there will be an acute shortage of food in the country by April. He said the major rice mill owners had paddy stocks to last for 1 year, and vegetable farmers will have access to chemical fertilizer since the President approved chemical fertilizer for certain identified crops following expert advice. Citing official statistics, he also said 795,000 hectares are being cultivated at present for the Maha season. That was Watchlight. Up next is a bulletin of world news.
Coming up, world news.
World news headlines: Sudan coup. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. South Korea says man who crossed to north is gymnast who defected. Newborn baby found in toilet bin of Air Mauritius plane. Sudan's Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok has resigned after another day of mass protests rocked the capital Khartoum. Thousands marched against a recent deal he had done to share power with the army, who staged a coup in October. Chanting power to the people, protesters called for a return to full civilian rule, but military forces again responded with force, leaving 2 people dead. Mr. Hamdok's decision to quit leaves the army in full control. It is another blow to Sudan's fragile attempts at a transition to democratic rule after a popular uprising led to overthrow of Sudan's long-term authoritarian president Omar al-Bashir in 2019. South Korea's military suspects a man who crossed the heavily fortified border into the north on New Year's Day previously defected to the south. Officials believe he's a gymnast who jumped the barbed wire fence into South Korea in 2020. It is not clear why he made a perilous return crossing or if he is alive or dead. North Korea has implemented a shoot-on-sight policy at the border to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Thousands of North Koreans have resettled in South Korea, but crossing through the demilitarized zone, which separates the 2 countries, are rare. Most make their way via China. Instances of defections from South Korea to North are rarer still, with only a handful of cases recorded in recent years. Airport staff in Mauritius have found a newborn baby boy abandoned in a rubbish bin on a plane's toilet. A 20-year-old woman from Madagascar, suspected of having given birth on the flight, was arrested. The Air Mauritius plane, which arrived from Madagascar, landed at Siwon Sagur Randagulam International Airport on the 1st of January. Airport officers made the discovery when they screened the plane for a routine customs check. They noticed that there was blood-stained toilet paper and rushed the baby to a public hospital for treatment. The airport police also questioned passengers. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Sudan coup. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. South Korea says man who crossed to north is gymnast who defected. Newborn baby boy found in toilet bin of Air Mauritius plane. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news follows.
Development news is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Savanagala sugar factory has recorded a profit of 1,300 million rupees last year after 35 years. Accordingly, the factory has registered its highest profit after its commencement last year. State Minister Janaka Wakkumbura said it was possible to pay dividends to the employees and farmers due to profits. 5 million litres of ethanol was produced last year, which has brought 50% of the profits. That was development news. Sports news follows.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Sports news. Indian captain Virat Kohli is out at the second test against South Africa, which began today with a back spasm. With regular vice-captain Rohit Sharma already missing the series with injury, KL Rahul is standing in as skipper with Hanuma Viharai coming into the 11. Rahul won the toss and chose to bat at the Wanderers in Johannesburg. That was sports news. Business news follows.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
2 of the biggest US phone firms have rejected a government request to delay the rollout of 5G services this week. The US Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and the Federal Aviation Administration made the request over concerns about aviation safety. However, AT&T and Verizon did say they will implement temporary safeguards. Plane makers have warned that C-band spectrum 5G wireless signals may interfere with sensitive aircraft electronics and could disrupt flights. That was business news. Economic news is up next.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Turkey's annual inflation rate has soared to a 19-year high, underlining the country's financial turmoil and alarm over its president's policies. Prices hit more than 36% in December as the cost of transport, food and other staples ate into household budgets. Most central banks raise interest rates to help cool inflation, but Turkey has gone the other way. It has meant a collapse in the value of the lira, as Tayyip Erdogan prioritizes exports over currency stability. The lira shed 44% of its value against the dollar last year and fell another 4% on Monday. That was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather report.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
the weather report.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the northern, north-central, eastern and Nuwa provinces and in the Matale and Nuwara districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in the Kandigol and Matara districts during the evening or at night. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Uva province and in the Batikolo, Ampara, Polonnaruwa and Matale districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Kalutara, Gaul, Matara and Ratnapura districts. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, the headlines again. Bus fares will be revised from Wednesday. The minimum bus fare will be 17 rupees. The government plans to send more than 3,000 migrant workers for employment abroad. Court order preventing payment of Chinese fertilizer shipment dissolved. Health authorities warn that there is a huge risk of the Omicron variant spreading in the country. Turkey's inflation hits 36% amid financial turmoil. And in foreign news, Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. That ends tonight's news broadcast. Amanda is there, all smiles and looking absolutely gorgeous in the new year. All the best to you, and both of us will host the program until close of transmission.